One triangle HJK is graphed. It is going to be transformed using this rule. So this time they gave you the rule. So everybody look, what happened? The x became opposite and the y stayed so the y stayed the same. The x became opposite. That is a reflection across what? The y stayed the same. A reflection across the y-axis. So everybody find the y-axis. Here it is. It's going to reflect it across that axis. So it's going to go from here to here. Does everybody agree? Okay, so it has to be A. Number 2. A rectangle is graphed on a coordinate grid. Which transformation will result in a rectangle that is not congruent? What's the only thing that does not preserve congruence? A dilation. Number 4. A circle is graphed on a coordinate grid, and it is translated. What does translated mean? It slides. P to the right, so write that down. P right, V down. Does it matter that those aren't numbers? No. What axis moves left and right? The x. So I say x. Is right going to be plus or minus?
We don't have a 3.
I think I forgot to paste it. Okay, so what axis moves right to left? The x-axis. And is right positive or negative? Positive. So x plus p. We're used to putting a number there, but it doesn't matter that it's not a number. All right, which axis moves up and down? The y. And is down positive or negative? And there's your rule. Okay, now stop and look. They didn't use x and y. They used these numbers. Which number's the x? Negative 4. So negative 4 plus p. And instead of y, they use 7. 7 minus v. And there's your answer. Negative 4 plus p, 7 minus v. So do it the way I taught you, like this, and then you can plug in that x and that y instead of that. Number 5. A pentagon was graphed. It was rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now, is it asking for a rule, or is it just asking you about a rotation? It's just asking about it. So let's talk about rotations. Here's my calculator. If I rotate this calculator, did it change size? Did it change shape? Did the perimeter change? Did the area change? What's the only thing that changed? Your view. That's called the orientation. All right, let's look at it. It says, which statement is true? The area is not equal. No, the area is equal. The new pentagon is not congruent. No, it is congruent. The perimeter is greater. No, the perimeter is the same. The angles are congruent. Yes, because when I rotate something, it stays the exact same. The only thing that changes is my view of it, the orientation. Number 6. Quadrilateral PQRS is dilated. So let's talk and to think about a dilation. A dilation makes a shape bigger or smaller. Okay, it says, which statement is true? Well, let's go find the scale factor. How do you find the scale factor? New over old. How do I know which shape is new? The primes, the little dashes. So this one's new, and this big one's old. Okay, I'm going to use the P. Here I am at 6, that's new, over, here's my old P. Where am I at? 12. And I must simplify that fraction. So I go to my calculator, and put in 6 over 12, and I get 1/2. So let's talk about it. Would 1/2 make a shape bigger or smaller? Because it's less than 1. So this is going to make the shape smaller, which is called a reduction. It's half the size. All right, which statement is true? Each side length is 1/2 the side length. Ooh, that might be it, but let's just keep reading. The quadrilateral, the new quadrilateral, is congruent. No, it's not congruent. It's bigger or smaller. Each angle measure is 1/2 the angle measure. No, guys, remember, when you dilate a shape, so everybody look at these two. This is a square. Y'all agree that's a square? And this is another square. This one's smaller. If I dilate this to make this, are the angles still 90 degrees? The angles will stay the same because then it would change the shape. That's the only thing that stays the same when you dilate. So no, the angle measures are not 1/2. The angles are the same. The quadrilateral is similar. Yes. So I have two answers to choose from. So here's how you figure it out. It's the wording in this. Is PQRS, everybody find PQRS, it's the big one. Is it 1/2 this one? No, it's the bigger one. So they wrote it the wrong way. They wrote it backwards. So the answer is D. The shapes are similar. When you dilate a shape, they stay similar. Make sense? All right, number 7. A trapezoid was translated, and every single answer choice is plus and minus, so I can't get rid of anything. 4 left, write that down. 4 left, 5 up. Now we need to come up with a rule. Which axis moves left and right? I don't see everybody paying attention. X. Is left going to be a plus sign or a minus sign? Minus 4. Up. Which axis moves up and down? Y. Is up going to be a plus sign or minus sign? Up. Plus. So X minus 4, Y plus 5. A. Number 8. A triangle is shown. The triangle is going to be dilated. Stop and look at the answer choices. 2 of those are not dilation rules. Which ones are not dilation rules? H and J. What kind of rules are those? These are translation rules. If it's adding and subtracting, it's translation. So we need multiplication. By a scale factor of n. Now let's talk about it. Scale factors are multipliers. Which one of these is the only one multiplying? G. What's F doing? Dividing. Do y'all see that? So G is really the only one that could even be the answer for a dilation. Now let's look at why it's G. It says point R. Everybody find point R. Point R is at, on the x-axis, -3, and on the y-axis, -5. We would take the scale factor, which is n, and multiply it. -3 times n, -5 times n, which is the answer. But that's where they got that -3 and -5 from point R. It will never be F, because scale factors are not division problems. They are multiplication problems. Number 9. A transformation is applied. Which transformation does not preserve congruence? What is the only thing that does not preserve congruence? Dilations. Number 10. You have a polygon. It is going to be dilated. Stop and look at the answer choices. Which ones can I mark off because they are not dilation rules? If you pick G or H, you're not trying. Now, how do I get the number? New over old. But they only gave me one shape. So I got to go read. It says I have a polygon that's shown. It's going to be dilated to create this new polygon. And the new Q, so if I look, I have to use what? I've got to use Q. The new Q is at 21.7. Well, let's see what the old Q is at. Where's the X at? 6. Where's the Y at?
2.
All right, so I just need 2 of those numbers. It doesn't matter which ones I use. What did they use 2 and 7, didn't they? So I'm going to use 2 and 7. Which one's the new one?
7.
7 over 2. So the answer is J. Number 11. A figure was transformed by using this rule. Which of the following describes this transformation? So stop. The first 2 they listed were reflection. So let's say the reflection rules and see if this is a reflection rule. When I reflect across the x-axis, the x stays the... Did the x stay the same?
No.
This one's out. When I reflect across the y-axis, the y stays the...
Same.
Did the y stay the same?
No.
Okay. So it has to be a rotation. So I go get Happy Face Man, and I'm going to try 90 degrees clockwise first. So 90 degrees clockwise is one spot like a clock, right here. What happened? The y and the x switched spots. Did they switch spots?
No.
No. So let's do 180 and make sure it's right. If I move this 180 degrees, that's 2 spots. 1, 2. So it's going to go down here. Did the x and y switch spots? No. No, they didn't. Look, the x is still the... But they're both negative. Is that the rule they're talking about? Yes. Number 12. A polygon will be dilated. Oh, there's that rule. Dilated. Stop. Which ones can I mark off? Because they are not dilations. F is a translation because it's adding or subtracting. G is also a translation. They're going to dilate it and they're going to make it smaller. That means the scale factor needs to be less than 1. Yes? If I want to make it smaller, the scale factor must be less than 1. Okay, so it's either H or J. 5/4. Well, let's go see what 5/4 is. 5/4 is 1.25. Is that less than 1 or bigger than 1? 1.25. Is that less than 1 or bigger than 1? That's going to make a enlargement. 0.9. Is that less than 1 or greater than 1? So that is a reduction. It's going to make it smaller. I have no idea where... Oh, it just got stapled backwards. Number 16. Pentagon is reflected. Do I even need the picture? It's reflected across the... when I reflect across the x-axis, the x stays the... I just go with me here, okay? Mine got stapled backwards. When I reflect across the x-axis, the x stays the y becomes opposite. Number 17. A square with a perimeter of 20 is graphed. It's dilated by 0.4. Which rule represents this? Do I need the 20 or do I need the 0.4? What do I use? I need the scale factor. And dilations, are they adding rules or multiplication rules? Multiplication, it's B. We don't care about the perimeter. Number 18, which of these rules does not preserve congruence? What's the only thing that does not preserve congruence? A dilation. So which one of these is a dilation rule? A, because dilation rules multiply. Number 13. Triangle ABC was transformed to create the new ABC. So you got to ask yourself, did it make it bigger or smaller? No. Did it flip it? No. Did it just slide it? So it went from up here to down here. Does everybody agree? How far did it go down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down. Did it move it left or right? No. 0, left or right. It doesn't matter. All right. Which axis moves left and right? X plus 0. So do I even have to write plus 0? No. All right. Which axis moves up and down? So Y is down, positive or negative? All right, so I have X plus 0, which I don't have to write, Y minus 7. Which rule says that? F. Number 14, quadrilateral was translated 5 right, write that down, 5 right, 3 up. Which rule says this? Which axis moves right and left? X is right, positive or negative? Positive. Okay, up and down. Which axis moves up and down? And is up, positive or negative? So X plus 5, Y plus 3. Last question. You got a trapezoid that is rotated 180 degrees. Do I need the picture? All right, it's not asking for a rule. It's just asking about a rotation. Everybody look again. I rotate my calculator. Did anything change? No. All right, here we go. Which statement is true? The sum of the angles is 180 less. No, because they are the same. G. It is not congruent. No, it is congruent. The area is less. No, they're the exact. J. The angles are equal. Yes. You'll put your name on this before you leave. You'll put it back on that desk by the